Hello. Let's do one of my most indulgent kind of artworks, the line work, where all I'm using is this brush pen. You ready? You want to have a good time? We're gonna do it by random too. We're gonna see. Well, we'll pick out of my nice little photos right here, little Instax photos. I have a whole bunch of. We're gonna make this into a nice game. This will be fun. Oh, I forgot my tea. Here's my tea. Here's my tea. Oh, let's get that. There we go. I am drinking turmeric tea today, so you know we're just in the mood for that kind of thing. So let's pick. We're gonna pick by random. We're gonna pick this one. So let's pick one of these. We got. Ooh, okay. It's creeks. Okay. Well, this one's kind of interesting. Yeah, we're gonna do this one. Come on. Okay. Now let's get going. The nice thing about these is that it really only takes one supply. One supply. And the ink is in the barrel. You don't have to add anything else. You're not dipping in any other thing. It's just the only thing you need. We're gonna have to flip this, aren't we? Flip it. Flip it. I don't like this. Oh well, that's what it is. The nice thing about using a pen like this is that it is the only thing you need. You don't need anything else to go with it because all the ink is in that barrel. I'm not gonna say that I can knock these out quick because the phrase "quick" is there's room for interpretation. So something that is quick to me might not be quick for you, and vice versa. So for me, these kind of intense line works I can knock out pretty quick. But still, pretty quick might still mean a couple of hours of work. It just might. I've done these for many years now, and it's one of my favorite sort of artworks. At least for the time being. You know, that can always change. But for right now, me and these get along quite a bit. I very recently have started putting like watercolors on top of them, or even underneath them. Do these line works on top of the watercolors, and I've been liking the outcomes. But you know, just like junk food, you want to come back to something that feels good. Well, these kind of drawings feel good to me, so sometimes I just want to do it for the sake of doing it. And that's how this kind of drawing is for me. It feels good to do. I always like the outcome. I just want to do more of them. You know, it's a rare thing, at least that I've found in my lifetime. It's a rare thing to find something in the art world that you feel happy with. You feel happy with the outcome, and you feel happy with, I'm not going to say your progress in it, but your current skill levels of how you are able to make the thing look like you want it to. Because art is always an ongoing process. It's an ongoing sort of talk that you have between you and the universe. You're trying to communicate things that you can't really put anywhere else. Because that's what the arts are for. They are the repository for ideas that you can't put elsewhere. And that's the reason why it is important to have the arts around. That is the basis of why the arts are important to have, is because of that. It is the place for that kind of communication, that kind of speech, that kind of voice. That's where it can go, where it can't go elsewhere. And that's why a lot of times I think a lot of people will feel a closeness to certain artists, is because you hear the voice. You hear the voice of some sort of truth that rings out to you, that you can't really otherwise describe. You can't really otherwise understand, or even draw the words from, because this is some other thing. This is some other thing that you can't otherwise say, you can't otherwise speak of. And that's what the arts are. That's why they're important. You know, us artists, we are purveyors of purveyors of things that don't fit elsewhere. There's a lot of beauty in that. There's also a lot of ugliness. There is a lot of ugliness in the art world too. Not all speech, not all truth is pretty. It's not. There's a lot that leaves a lot to be desired. There's a lot that needs to be said that isn't pleasant, but it needs to be spoken anyway. A lot of that can be put in art. A lot of it can be. And I don't just mean painting or drawing, or I don't just mean that when I'm saying art. I mean all of it. I mean the music. I mean the fiction, the writing. I mean all of it. All of the creative process. Because a lot of it is trying to hint at and get to things that you can't say just in while you're talking with somebody. In a painting, I can say things that I can't say in a conversation with a friend. It's something different. Mostly, what I want you all to understand is that don't discount the artists. Don't ignore the artists. They have a lot to say. They do. A lot of them really do. I'm trying a new mic today. I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm hoping this is okay, because if it's not okay, I'll just have to do full voiceover over the entire thing anyway, and you guys won't know. But, you know, if it turns out, maybe I'll be able to use this as is. That would be very nice. That would be a nice change. That might cut down on the the edit time that I usually have to do anyway. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not sure how many people out there have tried to produce video. You know, the whole process of you know, lighting, filming, doing the thing that you're actually filming, and then editing and voiceover and adding background music and just the whole process. There's so many steps of it. So I'm not really sure how many of you guys have even attempted any of it, but you can take it from me that there is a lot of effort that goes into this. A lot of effort, more effort than I can really express at the moment. I'll put it this way. If I went back in time and I talked to myself a year ago and like told myself how much work goes into this, I would not have believed me. I really wouldn't have. I would not have believed how many hours of everything it takes to make a 20-minute film. I would not have believed me, you know, and I'm right now in the process of doing many of them, and I still have a hard time grasping it while I'm doing it. That's how intense it can be sometimes. And it's something that I put on myself because I am trying to find ways to get to that voice, to say the things I need to say, because I have a lot to say and I don't speak that well. I struggle with the actual physical act of speaking, and practicing it, even just for making these videos, talking through these videos and voiceovering these videos, helps more than I can describe. It's been a process of rebuilding those pathways in my brain to be able to get to the words that I had previously lost. So I've got quite a vocabulary, and it stems from how much I read, how much I have read in the past, and how much I continue to read, because I'm a voracious reader. I go through a lot, just a lot. And it's just, I've always been that way. I consume a lot of data just all the time, and have for many, many years. I'm not a kid anymore, okay? I'm a pretty established adult age, so none of this is new to me. I have been around for a while, and I have been reading and consuming and digesting for a while, a long time. There was a thing in my early 20s, maybe slightly earlier than that, maybe in my late teens, that actually, how can I put it this way? I guess you could call it an injury of sorts. It made speaking very, very difficult. And it's like those brain pathways had been destroyed, and I did not have access to them anymore. They were gone. And so I have spent more than a decade trying to get them back. And not really get them, because they're not there anymore. They're gone. My body does not behave like it did previously. So I am making new ones. I am establishing new pathways. And in a lot of ways, it is like a forest path. Have any of you trail broke before? Like, for making a trail in a forest. Have any of you trail broke before? It's like that. It's like making a new path to a place you've been many times. So like this path here that we're drawing right here. I mean, it's not dissimilar to this, in that there's undergrowth and there's very large trees and boulders and things in the way that are blocking the path that you have to get around. And maybe there's lots of bugs in the way and spider cobwebs, and maybe there's a black bear or two. All sorts of things that might actually be in the way, and you have to get around those and get to where you need to go, to get to those words, to get to that communication that has been lost. You have to get there. You have to find a way. And I have spent more effort than I can really communicate to get that back, to be able to start speaking again. And even this channel is just part of that. It's part of the whole process of getting my words back. It is. Because it's a very important part of life. I am an artist. I have things to say. And so I am finding ways to be able to say them. It's a little, a little unusual path, I can say. And someday I will get better at describing the process of creating new brain pathways. But in a lot of ways, there's a very specific sensation when you create a new one. You can feel it. You can kind of think of it like a jolt. It's a little like a jolt. Kind of a very specific feeling once you know what it feels like. A little like a jolt of, licking a battery or something like that. You just get this little jolt like, oh, I feel that. That's kind of what it's like. Now imagine doing that 30,000 times or more to get words back. Do that. And see if at the end of the day you can better describe it than I can. Because, I'm still in the process of figuring out how to describe this. You can't ask for help if you don't have the words for it. As awful as that sounds. Who could have helped me regain words if I cannot describe the problem? And that's the issue of a lot of modern medicine. Because there is nothing that could have been done if I can't actually say what is wrong. Even if I could get somebody to believe me, who could have helped? There was nothing I could say about it. And that's really a lot of the ugliness of it. There's a lot of unspoken things in medicine. There is. I'm very pleased with the progress I've made in the last 5 years, I'd say. Has been an incredible increase in a lot of the things I'm able to do. A lot of the words I'm able to use and ideas I'm able to get across. There has been almost this giant boost that was really began around the end of, I think it was 2018. Around October 2018, I think that's when my body went into overdrive of trying to fix things. When I had access to, you could say, rooms in my brain that I had not had access to for a very long time. It's like the janitor had found the spare pair of master keys and started opening up doors for me. Doors that I hadn't been to in a very, very long time. And the increase has been kind of exponential since then in that a lot of my capabilities have come back since then. I've been working on it quite hard, and you know that this channel is part of that self-therapy to get a lot of that back. So there are many things that I still cannot do, but am going to get to. I'll be able to get to do them if I keep going at this, if I keep putting in the effort, putting in the things into the universe that need to be put in to get out. You know, I really do think in a lot of ways the universe is very, you gotta put in to give out. Or no, you gotta put in to get back. It's transactional in that way, that's the word, transactional. You will not be rewarded for not adding to the universe. You will not be rewarded for not doing your part in fighting your battles and passing the tests that have been put before you. You know, I really do believe the universe gives each of us our own tests. I really do that. I do believe that. And communication has been one of mine. You know, in a lot of ways, the universe gives us our own tests. And communication has been one of my big ones. Getting that back, learning how to go through this process of regaining those pathways, of regaining the access to those rooms in my brain that I had not had access to for a long time. But I have put in the effort. I am one of those people who meditates on a regular basis. You could say all the time. just constantly. It is part of the healing process to be able to there are things you can actually change in your brain. There are ways to not really change the chemicals, but alter the composition of things and allow certain things to be more prevalent or mute certain things. And I have been able to figure out how to do quite a bit of it, and a lot of it is through meditation that I've learned how to change a lot of body processes in a way that is helpful to me. There are ways to meditate as you are awake, as you are moving and doing other things. You can, at all times, be doing some form of meditation. I mean, you can even do it in your sleep, because there are, have you ever had the dreams where you get to create, where you get to make things, where you are an active participant and you get to change things within the dreams? You know, you can do that. That is a thing that you can do. And I have been doing that for many years. It is an interesting part of creation. And one of the reasons why I do so many alien landscapes, why that is one of my favorite things, is because that is directly related to places I have been in dreams and meditation. It's direct places I have been, direct places I have made. Sometimes you want to revisit, or sometimes you want to make something new. You know, you can have, there is room for so much to add. You can add so much to the universe. You know, humans are very interesting creatures in that way. I think a lot of us can add so much to the universe. We're interesting creatures, we are. And I'm excited to see what we can add in the future, what we can keep adding to the universe. You know, because I think over time the universe it must love complexity in some way, because things do get more complex over time. They do. And a lot is added. A lot is seeming to want to be added. It is just kind of the nature of the thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, maybe the universe likes surprises. I don't know. But I am one of the creatures of creation and surprise. I'm a little chaotic. Well, let's be serious here. Those of you who know me in real life, I'm a little chaotic. It just is what it is. Can't be helped. I think most artists in real life are a little chaotic in some way or another. It is just the nature of the thing.